palmar aponeurosis. So first in the short notes we have to write the site where it is present, it is in the palm. And second thing is, what is the shape? It is triangular in the shape. And then if this is triangular in shape, what is the apex, base and all? So you have to draw one finger, and here you have to draw the flexor retinaculum, and here you should draw the muscle. The tendon is coming here, palmaris longus tendon is coming here, and it continues here. So again I will use the tendon is coming here and it spreads as a triangular sheet. So here is your apex, understand, and here is your base. So apex is the continuation of palmaris longus tendon, but in 30% of the individuals the palmaris longus tendon won't be there, so it arises from the flexor retinaculum. And the base, when it goes near the base, okay, when it goes near the base, it splits into two lamina. One goes up superficially, another one goes deep. Superficially, when it goes up, if you see, look at the palm, when the superficial fascia and the deep fascia, it splits into two like a paper. The upper one goes towards the skin, so the upper one goes towards the skin. So first you should write apex, and you have to write the base. Apex, what will you write? You can look at the picture and then you see the apex. Here it is the continuation of tendon of palmaris longus, and base is here. What is this? These are the metacarpal bones present here. These are all the heads of the metacarpals. So apex and base will be attached to the head of the metacarpals. When it comes here, it divides into two lamina. One is the superficial lamina, another one goes into the deep part as deep lamina. The superficial lamina goes towards the skin and the deep lamina goes inside. So the superficial lamina goes to the skin, so it is attached to the skin. The deep lamina, which goes inside, will be attached towards three areas. One area, number one, you can see one metacarpal head, you can see the ligament here called transverse metacarpal ligament. It is called deep transverse metacarpal ligament. And the second one is, can you see white green color structure? That is the fibrous flexor sheath. All the fibrous tendons are going here. That's why it is called as fibrous flexor sheath. So it will be attached to the fibrous flexor sheath. The third one is the white color thing I have marked here. That is your capsule of the metacarpophalangeal joint. This is the capsule of the metacarpophalangeal joint. You can see the metacarpal, and then these are called phalanges. These are called phalanges, proximal phalanx, middle phalanx and distal phalanx. So this is the head of the metacarpals. So it just there will be a capsule in the metacarpophalangeal joint. So I have marked it as a round circle, white color circle. Actually it should be go up, and this is called capsule of the metacarpophalangeal joint. So the deep lamina will be attached in three areas. So now we will write here apex palmaris longus tendon. If it is not present, it will be arising from the flexor retinaculum or flexor retinaculum, right? Okay, the base will be in the heads of the, here only you will be having the metacarpal bones. So number 1 metacarpal, number 2 metacarpal, number 3, number 4 metacarpal. 1 is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that metacarpal bones here. So it will be attached to the head of the metacarpals, correct? Okay, this is the base. So you have to write heads of the metacarpal bones. Very good. So when it goes near the base, it splits into two lamina, superficial lamina and a deep lamina. Okay, lamina. So the superficial lamina goes to the skin. The deep lamina goes to the DFC. Like KFC, you have the DFC. D for deep transverse metacarpal ligament. Deep transverse metacarpal ligament. You can see here deep transverse metacarpal ligament, transversely placed. And then F for this fibrous sheath. Fibrous sheaths will be going from here, no? Fibrous sheath. okay, from the fibrous flexor digitorum superficialis and digitorum tendons. So these tendons will be covered by a sheath that is called as fibrous flexor sheath. So this ligament will be attached to that sheath also. Understand? So here you have to write the fibrous flexor sheath. And then C is the capsule of the which joint? Metacarpophalangeal joint. This is one phalanx, second phalanx and distal phalanx. So the joint is called capsule of metacarpophalangeal joint. Okay, these are the three areas, DFC, deep. Okay, so laterally what happens? This side laterally and medially what happens? Here you have the hypothenar muscles and this side you will be having the hypothenar muscles. So this side thenar and this side hypothenar. So it will be just attached to the fascia of the, you can see here. See, look at this. Here you can see okay, it will be attached to the thenar fascia. The muscles are here attached to the fascia around the thenar. You do not write all this stuff. You can write just laterally it is attached to the first digit, the septum in the first digit. Actually it is called as lateral septum. This is called as medial septum. Medial septum is attached to the fifth digit and lateral septum is attached to the first digit and intermediate septum is attached to the third digit. Actually all these septa, they give the they attach the deep fascia strongly towards the bones. So it is called as three septa, 1, 2 and 3. So we will write that. Okay, so we have written splits into two and then laterally it is attached to the lateral septum, which is attached to the lateral means fifth digit, and medially it is attached to the medial septum, it is attached to the first digit. Sorry, laterally it is attached to the first and medially fifth. Okay, medially only you have the little finger, so fifth digit, and then in the middle it will be attached to the third digit. Okay, so these are the boundaries. So apex, base, and then laterally and medially and in the middle, and then you have already written the superficial lamina, deep lamina, everything. So the answer is complete. What is the clinical application? You will write clinical application. You should write as, what is that important condition called debutant's contracture. Okay, what is debutant's contracture? You can see clearly here the medial part of the palmar aponeurosis is undergoing fibrosis. Okay, if it undergoes fibrosis, what will happen? It will become it will be shortened and this finger will be constricted like this. So this type of the palm is called as debutant's contracture. The contracted finger you can see. Then MCQ is which part will be undergoing contracture? That is your medial part of the palmar aponeurosis. So debutant's contracture, only one word you should write, fibrosis of the medial part. That is only important. Medial part of the palmar aponeurosis leads to debutant's contracture. That's all about the short notes. Again I repeat, site carries half a mark, and then shape, and then this picture shows everything, and then apex, base, splits into medial boundary, lateral boundary, clinical application. This is very important. Usually students, they make mistakes in this area. Superficial lamina goes to the skin, deep lamina will be going to the deep, DFC, D for deep transverse metacarpal ligaments, and F for ligament, F for fibrous flexor sheath and capsule of the shoulder joint. And clinical applications, debutant's contracture.